So before I start, I wonder if you could indulge me into a favor. I wonder if you could turn to a person next to you, someone whom you came with, or someone you don't know, or you just met, and tell them how fat, ugly, stupid, or old you think they are in a way. Go ahead. You're not gonna do that?
Right now?
You're not gonna do that?
Don't
Not gonna happen, right?
Yes.
So, unnecessarily cruel, disrespectful, mean, untrue, unfair, right? To Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and our guest, words matter. Recently, a scientific study has been done by Dr. Masaru Emoto, a scientific researcher from Japan. He did his rice experiment. He placed portion of cooked rice into two containers and labeled each one of them, one as thank you and other as you fool. And then he instructed school children to call that label on their jar out loud every time they pass them by. So after 30 days, he observed that the rice in the container having positive thoughts were barely changed, whereas the other one became moldy and rotten. It happened because of the change in the cell structure of this rice. The rice which was in the container having noticed, thank you, the crystals were beautifully structured, whereas the other one suffered. Now if you notice, the cooked rice has water content in it, and our human body is nothing but 70% of water. So every time we speak something, we send some form of energy. And then you might have heard of positive energy and negative energy. So the one who is hearing, he has to absorb that energy. It's nothing but law of conservation of energy. But to tell you how severe it could get into the situation, let me share one story with you. Once upon a time, there were two kids in a village. One was 5-year-old kid and the other was 11-year-old kid. They were best friends. One day while playing, they went a little bit far from the village and to a deserted place. And suddenly, one guy fell into the well. It was 11-year-old kid who fell into the well. He cried for help, and at that place there was no one who could hear his voice except that 5-year-old kid. That 5-year-old kid, he didn't know what to do, but he ran toward the well, he looked around, oh, there's a rope, he grabbed the rope, threw it in the well. The guy in the well also quickly grabbed that rope, and that 5-year-old kid started pulling his friend with all the energy that he has. It took him 1 hour to pull his friend out of the well and saving his life. They thought, okay, now situation is under control. But they were equally afraid about telling the incident to their parents. Now the trouble actually starts. They could see some serious beating and scolding coming through. But anyway, they had to tell. So they told everything to their parents. But instead of scolding, their parents were not even believing. So they got surprised. We are telling truth. But they said, no, yeah, that's not possible. So they told this same incident to all the villagers. And all the villagers, nobody believed. They were just laughing, oh, you're alive. So kids were in big surprise. Why are nobody believing? But out of all the people in the village, there was one person who was believing in them. And that was one old man who used to be wise man of the village. And people used to listen to him. So people went to him and asked, why are you believing these kids? And he told, because they are telling. Yeah, again the villagers asked, yeah, but how is it possible for a 5-year-old kid to pull that 11-year-old kid who is double of his size? Then again, old man said, yeah, but they just did that. And this time out of frustration, villagers asked, but that's impossible. Exactly, said the old man. When the kid was out there at that place, there was no one who could tell him that it was impossible. So that kid doesn't know what he could or he couldn't. And he ended up in doing something which was beyond the imagination of others. So that's how words turn into belief. And words give hope. And don't tell me hope doesn't matter. It's fascinating for me to say lately that I've been criticized by people that I talk about hope too much. Oh, he's talking about hope again. He's so naive, he's so idealist. His hands in the cloud, he's hope monger. He needs a reality check. He's peddling false hopes. False hopes. The notion is, if you talk about hope, you must not have clear view of reality. But nothing worthwhile has ever happened unless somebody somewhere was willing to hope. John F. Kennedy didn't look at the moon and say, oh, that's too far. We can go. False hopes. Martin Luther King didn't stand on the steps of Lincoln Memorial and say, go home everybody. The dreams deferred. False hopes. You need a reality check. I have a dream, just words. We hold this to be self-evident that all men are created equal, just words. We have nothing to fear but fear itself, just words, just speeches. It's true that speeches don't solve all the problems. But what is also true is we cannot inspire people to believe again in life, to believe again in dreams unless we have hope at our side. And hope comes from the choice of words that we are having. Words have the power to change a life. Words can speak love and encouragement, hope and joy, or they can speak doubt and pain, hurt and condemnation. The choice is yours. When the kids gossip about that girl in the class, what will you speak? Will you speak love or hate? When your friend is hurting, will you speak life or look at the other way? The Bible says words can start a destructive fire or can breathe life in the hurting ones. You see, words are like bricks. They can build someone up or knock someone down. So what words will you speak today? Be intentional. Your words can change someone's life. Thank you.